Yay!
Anyway, listener advice, you guys, we want to jump into a few key questions and we'll keep it kind of quick because we want to hit a few of them. And I know we're kind of getting at time.
Yeah.
But a few things that people had written in that we think are really, really important to hit on. And as quickly as we possibly can because I want to get all of them. How do you stay close to the best friend when you're starting full-time jobs? Your priorities change, you know what I mean? Like your priority is to make money and start, either paying off your loans or just like supporting yourself on your own.
Yeah.
I would say you've got to balance, like, and you can't expect that person to be texting you 24/7 anymore because they're working 9 to 5 likely.
Yeah.
Or, has their hustle at any point. Like I said before, understand that person's love languages, be interested and curious in their life and genuinely tell that person, different things that are happening during your day, like just funny stuff, like continue to have banter that you usually have. Like, just because your life is serious at your 9 to 5 doesn't mean your relationships have to be serious.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's important to like prioritize yourself too. And I think like your friends will realize that too. If you're prioritizing yourself, you're just going to like, your friends are going to understand that you're going to do things for yourself and you're going to make time for yourself. And to make time like for yourself and be the best you can be, you'll be better for the people around you.
Exactly.
I think is huge.
Huge. Good point too.
Yeah.
Next one is maintaining friendship with when attached to a boyfriend. Okay. So basically this one's like technically asking like, how do you maintain a friendship with a best friend if your best friend is extremely attached to their significant other?
I think you have to talk to them. It's just like all about communication, just like being real with them. I think people appreciate honesty and people being real with you no matter what, even if it's a hard conversation, if it's something that you don't even want to address and you're like, I'm honestly dreading talking about this. It's honestly what comes to be like make your relationships better, I think, at the end of the day.
I agree. You got to communicate. I would say, honestly, like asking them, like you're saying, like talk about it, but don't be malicious about it. Like don't wait until you're going to crack and be like, you're spending way too much time with your boyfriend. Here's my opinion that you never asked for, yada, yada, yada. Like literally, you know what I mean? People get nasty when you get pushed to the edge. You know what I mean? When you're like, God, I'm getting really sick of this. Know and understand that relationships ebb and flow. Know that things will come back to how they are. And it's exciting when somebody's in love. You should be excited for them, but just remind them like, hey, I don't feel like I'm really excited for you in your relationship. I really, really am. I can't wait to meet him, or I really, really like him. But I kind of feel a little bit neglected as a friend, and I don't want you to feel sad about that. I just am being honest in how I feel.
Yeah, I agree completely.
See how it like I was being honest about your turn, like how I felt, but I wasn't being malicious. That's the whole point of it. Like, don't be malicious ever.
Yeah. You can say things to people without having like a malicious intent or being negative and petty and things like that. Like you can have real conversations with people, even if it's going to sting them, even if it's going to hurt. Like those, you can have those conversations with people. They can take it.
It's important. It's important. Otherwise you'll end up cracking. So you might as well have it.
Yeah. Blow up.
This one we got a ton. When to give up when the relationship is not reciprocated. And we asked this question like a day ago, I think. And I thought about this one quite a bit because I have a hard time letting go of friendships. Yeah. I have a really, really hard time. Because I've put so much effort in, and when they're not reciprocated, it's just like, you're just like, well, I've carried the weight for so long. I might as well just keep carrying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say knowing when to give up is when you realize that your guys' priorities are not the same, like at all. Mm-hmm. Like when you notice a really poor side of this person that like is not changed and it's not a moral that you agree with or a value that you agree with. I'm trying to give an example of like, sounds so weird, but like they're just not nice to people that they don't know. Yeah. Like they're just kind of like a little like standoffish is one thing, but like really like, I don't like her. Like, I don't like her. But like they're your good friend. It's just like, notice the morals that don't align. Notice the values that don't align. Like the things that like, as you're growing, you're both growing. That's okay. You can grow away from people. You'll grow together with people. Yeah. But know when they're not your person anymore. That's what I would say.
I think it's also like investing your time. I think if you're investing more time into someone than they're investing in you, like that goes hand in hand with like your relationships too. Yep. If you're investing so much time into somebody and it's not being reciprocated, then like, you know that you're doing everything that you can and in your power to make the friendship, the relationship work. And if it's not, then like you can at least be at peace knowing that you did everything that you could to try and like save or salvage something. And, you know, people reconnect too. I don't think that that's ever something that should like it's not like you'll never reconnect one day, but like maybe you'll kind of like grow into something in the future. But I think it's okay to like let things go, because people do reconnect and things do happen, and life has a funny way of working itself out.
Always.
Yeah.
When a best friend hates your boyfriend. Excuse me, speaking from experience. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Both of us.
I'm just kidding.
That goes both ways, by the way.
This one is hard. Okay, so this one we'll keep it brief, but you have to still be happy for the person if they're genuinely still happy and in love. I think that you can be happy for somebody and happy how they're in love, but when someone's running to you and they're hurt a lot of the time, because the reason you probably don't like them is if you're hurt a lot, or like something you're feeling or you're seeing your friend experience, like you have to remind them, like, that's not normal. Like that is, in my opinion, your job to tell your friends, like, that behavior is not normal. Being treated like that is not normal. Yeah. Like, I support you in however you want to handle this and whatever you want to be a part of, but that behavior is not normal. And I don't like seeing you upset or hurt.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. I think Syd and I both speak from experience on this, because
oopsies.
Oops. Obviously, we've never talked ill about people we've previously dated. I just like don't think we're either those kinds of people.
No.
But I do think it's really important to say the things that you think are red flags about those certain people, because when people are in love and people like somebody like a lot you get really like tunnel visioned, and you can only see them for the things that you're looking for, not the things maybe that are actually reality, the things that are happening.
Like if they're a turd and you didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Oh, underlying. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Wow. I'm kidding. But I think that's like a big one too. Like, make sure that you're being there for them and like always being a shoulder to cry on. But at the same time, you really got to be like, that behavior is really not okay. You should not be treated like this. You deserve a lot more than this. Things like that. Just keep emphasizing that, and they'll figure it out. Syd and I were both in those kinds of positions, and you know, nobody can tell you how to feel, and nobody can tell you when it's time to let go. That's something that I think people just have to do on their own. Yep, and so just to like be there for them during that process is the biggest thing to do. And
I agree.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you still are like honesty, but you just got to be honesty in kindness. Like I just think when you get petty and you get rude, it ruins everything. And a lot of these questions are underlying, like just like how you approach the situation. Yeah. Very quick, 2 more. We'll keep them really, really fast. Having a best friend and having a girlfriend at the same time. Or a boyfriend and having a boyfriend, or, whatever that dynamic is, whoever you like prefer to date. Mm-hmm. I think it's possible. I really, really do. And I actually think it's healthy. And it's not like a best friend where, as you grow up and like, as you have full-time jobs, a best friend looks a little bit different. Like, it's not texting every day. It's not like, FaceTiming every day and like Snapchatting and all these things. But I mean, for an example, Jordan has a few girl best friends and I've met them and they're great. Yeah. And it's honestly healthy. And I'm glad he has girl best friends, because that means he knows how to maintain relationships. And he's not just solely tunnel vision to me, which to me is healthy. But it's taken a long time to realize that and understand that. Yeah.
I think that's a big part of just like growth too. Because at first you want to be the kind of person that's like, oh, you have a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
It's very like natural, like instinct to be like that. But I think at least it's really important I think that's like a good thing. I also think it's really important for people to have like guy friends and girlfriends, because you learn so many different things through so many people's different perspectives. Like, we have a lot of obviously the same guy friends. Mm-hmm. And I think it's awesome when they get to even meet our boyfriends, and like then they have like that mutual respect and understanding, and that like always,
this is my person, but you're still my person.
Yeah,
too.
Exactly. Like, you can still have really great relationships with guys and girls. And so I don't really think it's a big thing unless the other person, like let's say the girl best friend or the guy best friend, is like making you uncomfortable. Then I think that's when it gets to be like okay, like maybe there's something underlying here that I'm not really picking up on. Then
trust your gut, but always give the person a benefit of the doubt and a first try.
I agree.
And if it feels really wrong, it's probably wrong, but you shouldn't have issues having friends. That's just
I agree.
We need to mature. We need to be at the different level. You know what I mean?
100%.